Tonight on BCN Weekly News. In this week's special report, Bingham Residence Hall CSVs. Who is the culprit flushing the paper towels? Also, the fall play is officially showing. See Ghost Quartet this weekend. And final convocations for the fall semester. Make sure to get all 7 before finals week. All of this and more coming up soon tonight on BCN Weekly News.
Live from BCNR's studio in Berea, Kentucky, this is BCN Weekly News.
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of BCN Weekly News. My name is Matt Carmack. Just this past month, residents and facilities assistants have noticed paper towel messes in the Bingham Residence Hall. We go to Luke Bader with more information.
Thank you, Mac. Throughout this semester, one or more Bingham Residence Hall have been clogging the toilets with paper towels. The administration has been unable to find the culprit of the repeated offenses, so the Bingham Hall coordinators have decided to resort to CSVs. The entire second floor of the residence hall received a CSV despite no proof of more than one student being responsible. After this event, reports came in of toilets being clogged on other floors, so Bingham Hall coordinator Xander Carson issued an email announcing that the entire first and third floors would also be issued a CSV. I spoke with a Bingham resident to learn more about the fiasco.
Here in Bingham Hall, we recently have a situation where apparently some student or maybe a student started throwing paper towels in the toilet seat, and that was causing some issues to students and the resident. And the resident administration was quick to respond. And we had a hall meeting on that situation, but until now it seems like we haven't able to recognize the person who was doing that. But that's the situation we have.
We will let you know of any further developments in this issue. From the studio, this was Luke Bader reporting for BCN Weekly News. Back to you, Mac.
Thanks, Luke. If you are an FA or resident at Bingham, we wish you luck in resolving this fiasco. May the culprit be found. In other news, it is that time of year again to see the fall play. This year, the theater department is showing Ghost Quartet. The musical takes place over 7 centuries and is filled with themes of love and death. Amaya Weekly attends the event.
Thanks, Mac. The musical's opening night was last November 11th in the McGaw Theater and contained a number of musical performances. The other showings of Ghost Quartet were on the 12th and then the 17th through the 19th of this month. The showings on the 17th and the 18th were counted as convocation credit, and as usual, tickets were free for students. General admission was $12, and the ticket purchasing process was online. The plot of the production was the musical narration of 4 storytellers who travel throughout 7 centuries that do not take place in chronological order. I spoke with student director of the production, Fig Vance, who gave me more details on the plot and cast.
I think the easiest way to describe the show for most people is that it is a musical, but maybe even more specific than that, it's the composer calls it a song cycle, and he says it's a song cycle about love, death, and whiskey. And so it's definitely a convoluted, circular it comes back on itself a whole lot in terms of plot. But what was really important in trying to portray it for me is what can we do to make it a little bit clearer. And that kind of became, costume signifiers. Each character has a costume that they put on. The same actor plays multiple characters.
We are glad to hear about the turnout for this production. We will be sure to keep you updated on future productions and convocation opportunities. Reporting from the production studio in Stevenson, this was Amaya Weekly for BCN Weekly News. Back to you, Mac.
Thanks, Amaya. If you think you may be missing a convocation credit, be sure to attend this Friday's showing at 8 p.m. This brings us to our next story, which is the remaining convocations for the fall semester. There are currently only 2 more opportunities to catch up on your convo credits. As stated, you may attend Ghost Quartet Friday evening at 8 p.m. Also, there is a chance to make up a credit at the Black Music Ensemble performance Saturday at 1:30 p.m. This event will be held at Union Church, and Ghost Quartet will be held in the Jekyll Theater. Finally, you may not receive convocation credit for the Black Music Ensemble concert if you already attended the Wind and Jazz Ensemble performance. We wish everyone luck in completing their 7 required convocations. Coming next on BCN Weekly News, the 10th president of BereaCollege has been revealed. Coming next, learn about how Cheryl Nixon and Berea revealed this information. Also, open classes for the spring semester. If you need an extra perspective or additional credit, stay tuned. And reporter Cheyenne King introduces the BHC Activist Series, a one-on-one conversation with a featured student activist. We will be right back after this short break.
90% of a child's brain develops before the age of 5, making these early years critical for future success. Fortunately, togetherness can go a long way to support learning development. Reading, counting, playing, together. It's really that simple to increase your child's readiness to open up a world of possibilities.
This is Kentucky, where the only thing ordinary is the unexpected. Come see for yourself. Plan your trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I'm getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Yes, there could be some short-term side effects from the vaccine, but they go away in a day or 2. Those are signs that my body's building protection. It's worth it to avoid serious problems from COVID-19 disease.
Thanks for staying with us. Last Friday, students, faculty, and staff entered the Baird Lounge to see an update on the 10th presidential search. Luckily, a decision was already made. And the first female president of BereaCollege will be Lyle Ruloff's successor. Anapriya Dixit with more.
The BereaCollege Board of Trustees announced the 10th president of BereaCollege. The BereaCollege Board of Trustees announced the 10th president of BereaCollege on November 11th in the presidential search announcement event held in Baird Lounge. The presidential search announcement event was held on Friday, November 11th in Baird Lounge at 4 p.m. The Board of Trustees announced Dr. Cheryl L. Nixon as the 10th president of BereaCollege. She's also going to be the first woman to serve as the president of BereaCollege. After the announcement, Dr. Nixon addressed the crowd and shared her gratitude for the opportunity to lead the institution. She also shared her professional background and how her values align with Berea's mission. After the address, students were dismissed and faculty and staff got the opportunity to personally interact with the new president.
Well, my first impression, I was happy that it was a woman, that we were finally having, I think this is our first, female president. And I think that's really important at a college that is starting to get more women who are joining and trying to apply every year. And her speech was really nice. I thought it was very well thought, and I could tell that it meant a lot.
I really liked her analogy of the heart, which she said a lot. And I really liked how she specifically incorporated that into working with your hands and your mind, because I think that really does kind of make up the Berea experience. It's more than just the academic sector. It's labor, and it's learning through meeting different people, and everyone's a collective conscious, and we're all a heart pumping out different veins, and all of these crazy things she said were really I guess things that I've thought about but couldn't really put into words. So I really liked her analogies.
Students were invited to an ice cream social on Saturday 12 p.m. in Baird Lounge to meet Dr. Nixon personally and get a chance to talk to her. Many students showed up and interacted with her, asking questions about her vision and plans for Berea's future. Dr. Nixon will begin her tenure as president starting July 1st, 2023, following the retirement of President Lyle Ruloff. This is Anapriya Dixit reporting from BCNR studio for BCN Weekly News.
Thanks, Anapriya. BCNR welcomes President Nixon to BereaCollege, and a happy retirement to President Ruloff. In other news, registration was a completely new experience due to the website changes and a difference in staff. If you found yourself still needing a perspective or credit, we have gathered some additional courses. If you are still looking for a 0.25 credit course, 10 seats are still available in the Black Music Ensemble, and several music lessons like piano and mandolin are available. For STEM majors, several natural science labs, including plant and soil studies, are open. For your art perspective, tapestry on loom and an introduction to museum work is open. And for classes outside of your major, there are plenty to choose from, including modern imperialism, topics in Asian studies, human anatomy and physiology, accounting 1, death and dying, media analysis and research, grammar and composition, and many more. If you need additional information on any of these courses, go to your My Berea or contact Judy Ginter. It is not too late to sign up for these courses, whether you speak with an advisor or go to Student Success and Transition. There are several and numerous ways to ensure that you graduate at your expected date. We finished this newscast in regard to the BHG Student Activist Series. Most recently, Filza Mutal spoke at the Bell Hooks Center about activism in Pakistan. We go to Cheyenne King, who spoke with Mutal.
Thanks, Mac. This semester, the Bell Hooks Center hosted the Students Activist Series. The series was made up of presentations put together by student activists to provide a platform for students to share their expertise with our campus community. The presentations were held on select Wednesdays at noon. So far, we have had 2 students present. On September 28th, Filza Mutal told us about her experience discovering a pattern of sexual harassment by teachers in Pakistan. I was curious about Filza's experience, so I sat down with her to discuss.
When I identified a pattern of sexual harassment in my peers, which was inflicted by our professors. And there were just so many stories that I heard about one single professor, and I had witnessed it happening to my friends, so I needed to do something about it. So I decided to, I spoke up about it, and to my surprise, it went viral, as we call it nowadays. All different kinds of women from different kind of schools, different kind of backgrounds from all over the country were messaging me to talk about their experiences with male professors. We decided to start talking about that. I got into contact with a lot of local newspapers, radio stations, newsrooms. It was all over the internet. It was viral in every school. Every student in every school was talking about it. And lastly, I realized that social accountability is good. It wasn't doing what I wanted, so I went on to appeal the Minister of Human Rights and the Minister of Education of the country, and this is the biggest surprise of my life, where they actually responded to me.
On October 12th, during Pride Week, Anaya Badger also spoke of her own experience as a queer black woman growing up in West Virginia. She worked to create safe spaces for those with intersecting identity makers. Kat Moses, the administrative assistant of Women's Gender and Sexuality, as well as the Bell Hooks Center, was a part of the search for student activists across campus. I sat down with Kat to learn about her experience with the series.
I work with the students who have signed up to present with our Student Activist Series and connect them with our program associates so they can work with them on the format for their topic, what would work best or be most engaging for students. The Student Activist Series is important because it provides a platform for our students that are doing activist work both on and off campus. It allows them to not only share the work that they're engaged in, but also to kind of foster activism with their peers, share the tools and tactics that they've used that have been successful or that haven't worked out so great, and kind of foster collective change. Coming up at the end of this month, we have Emily No, who is a women's gender and sexuality studies major, who created Queer Creek Zine in a class last year, and it actually kind of blew up on Instagram, became really popular on campus, and so she's continued with its development, and I think that she'll be engaging in that even after Berea, so we're excited to kind of hear how that growth has taken place and how it's evolved from her class project to what it's become now.
On November 30th at noon in the Bell Hooks Center, Emily No will discuss her very own Queer Creek Zine, which serves as a working archive and centrally located collection of resources for queer Appalachians. We hope to see you there. This was Cheyenne King reporting from the production studio. Back to you, Mac.
Thanks, Cheyenne. We look forward to the next student activist speech, and we encourage all students to attend these meetings. On behalf of our news team, thank you for watching BCN Weekly News. I'm Matt Carmack. For more coverage, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at BereaCollege News Radio, and watch our show online at www.bcnewsradio.com. Good night.